carry.
Well, hello, good afternoon. We are ready for some Casual Boots Invitational Week 3. This is the final 4. We've got in the groups here, Gem versus Hitsuyan 1-7, otherwise known as Luffy. This is quite the match. Not only are these guys amazing runners in the overall community, they're also both coming from Germany. Very, very well known, and who better off to join me here in commentary, the one and only best-selling author, Tato from Germany. Hello, how are you doing?
Guten Tag, Clearmaus. Have a great afternoon, and thanks for welcoming me here in the commentary booth.
Oh, this is gonna be so exciting. I could not think of actually a better person to do this commentary with, Tito. So I am super happy that you're here. We are already starting off with a piece of art, it looks like, actually in Link's house. And so do you know anything about Casual Boots? Have you played this mode before, Tito?
Oh, I think
as part of your best-selling author experience.
Yeah, I know that you can't last look at anything here, because you have to check everything. Casual Boots, you have to save the princess and waste your next 5 minutes with doing stuff your opponent also do. So let's enjoy those castle walking guys here doing their
castle
things.
Walking? Tato, you just said that we get to start with boots. You know, why are we going to walk at all? I mean, I hope that these guys actually remember that they have the boots here.
You are just walking fast, so it's
still
walking.
So speed walking. Got it. Yeah.
This is how we do this here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I guess in your Casual Boots experience, so like, what do you normally have a goal for how fast you want to finish up Escape?
Yeah, I think those two are good players. So I think 5:10 is the measurement they are aiming for. A little bit faster. I tend to do a map check early, so I'm always slow in this. But those two are good people. They know how to play this game. So I think around 5:10 is the time to aim.
Yeah, no, actually, that's a good point. So we actually did notice in this case a map check or lack of map check from both these runners. As you said, I think they're pretty interested in getting an extremely fast escape time. It's certainly for probably like classes of these types of runners for Gem and Hitsu. They're probably going to try and aim for that maybe like 5:05, maybe 5:00. Anything that's going to save them some more time, like that pesky map check. They can't do it now, right? They have to wait until basically after escape.
And an early Moon Pearl, I mean, why not? Something else here in the escape is always a nice find. Maybe a little early bow, maybe opening up a little bit of difference in the routing could be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, right. So that's a very good observation. And we do have an early Moon Pearl. Not only that, we also have some early money, Tato. So that 300 not only gets them pretty close to Zoro money, also is really convenient if they can't find these bombs, they can go buy some in the village. But certainly they don't have too many money issues. Of course, we actually can see that all of our items are being tracked meticulously by our awesome trackers here today, Akihaish and Seraphim Grim. And of course, actually, I think all the tech stuff is working perfectly thanks to our restreamer Social Mike. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for doing all the work behind the scenes. Tato and I are just here, basically, just to talk.
Yeah, that's all I could do at this point this evening. I mean, I think Clearmaus, you wrote every person yesterday like, yeah, I want to show this game, Gem versus Luffy, Gem versus Hitsu. We want to restream this game. Tito, I think your first sentence was zero pressure. I think you started with zero pressure, then you started like, yeah, I have an idea.
Well, if I started out with you have to apply lots of pressure, then you might not have said yes, right? But so anything basically get you in here, right? That was the lure.
I'm living with pressure. This is my life, so I need the pressure to execute, to perform.
Yeah, well, speaking of, so these guys are actually, maybe these guys also are feeling a little bit of pressure, right? Gem versus Luffy, this is a pretty tough matchup. I'm wondering if they're using that extra pressure as some motivation to try and go a little bit faster.
Especially this is game 1 of the group stage at this point.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You can't really play any tactics. You don't know if you are in a good position, if you may lose a game or not. You don't want to lose the first game. It's always the most crucial part in those group stages. Only the best two will advance to the finals. So
Yeah, and honestly, like, well, I think in general, right? Nobody wants to lose, a race to begin with, and this race in particular, I don't actually know, if they necessarily, I guess, behave, like, or perform differently, and I would say like German-specific tournaments, but Gem and Hitsu both have each to their reputation. Probably in particular, Hitsu
yeah.
tends to be, I would dare say that his favorite color is green because of just how prevalent that color is on his map tracker throughout all of the races that I've seen him do. Tends to be certainly a bit more, have a bit more risk tolerance when it comes to locations and exploration. Gem, on the other hand, I would say he is a bit more, I won't necessarily say thorough, but tends to be more meticulous and a little bit more stable, I would say, in his routing decisions. And I really think that there's going to be, two very different mindsets, basically, trying to win out the seed. Let's see which one is better.
I'm interested to see Hitsu's routing. He tends to
Everyone's
Eastern play from Hitsu wouldn't surprise anybody right now. So
oh yeah, that's a good point. We're all right. So we finally made our way out of escape. So nothing actually really to I guess mention. A very quick map check on Gem's side. So I caught a red crystal at Desert and a regular crystal. I think that everything else was regular crystals.
yeah, 3 crystals in the light world. I like 3 crystals in the light world. That means it had a potential fast seed. Maybe also those longer dungeons might be pendants. So only the desert is a bit scary. But we got the boots already, so only a book or the flute and mirror for the late game desert access. That's always pretty nice in the light world.
Yeah, and of course, you're hoping for that early flute, right? A lot of extra mobility. We're gonna find those mitts eventually. So, flute plus mitts plus mirror would actually be certainly very nice. Save you a little bit of trouble. Ooh, potatoes! Did you see that on Lumberjack?
Yes, save a little bit of trouble and maybe just only 3 swords in the seed because there's a sword on Lumberjack. You might skip that if it's not really an Aga seed.
Yeah. So, well, do you think it's gonna be an Agassi? We might actually end up seeing that maybe as our potential tempered sword.
I mean, as a runner, you're looking like, this could be an Aga seed. Maybe you gamble Aga a little bit earlier. You get at least the sword out of it. Better than nothing. Maybe those tolerance is a little bit shrinking right now with this sword on the ledge, but nevertheless, if we get the Darkwood access, nope, buy sword.
Ooh, okay. So Gem Hitsu. Gem is very slightly ahead of Hitsu getting out of Lost Woods. He ended up checking a tree pull, which looks like actually Hitsu did not. But the 20 rupees are actually really nice. Gem using, of course, some of his game knowledge. Presumably Hitsu is doing the exact same thing, using this bonk rock basically here to get himself a free bomb. And it looks like both of them are going to be content with just one, hoping to find either more bombs here in like Blind's Hut or the well. Or they, of course, can just go buy some bombs with, like, they're basically infinite money.
Yeah, the money count is pretty nice at this point. I think you tend like 800 rupees for enough money for the whole seed if you want to do everything. So around this amount, you are good to go.
Only
one is interesting. Yeah, I think most people tend to farm 2 bombs at this point just for the safety of the well.
Yeah, no, so that's actually a really good point. Looks like actually no luck here so far in Blind's Hut. They're not gonna be able to get any bombs. So you think Gem's gonna go? Gem's gonna try. You definitely saw this. They saw this shovel coming right out. He had no luck though. No bombs, unfortunately. Oh, hey, it's 2. Oh, I didn't really realize it was 2 good bees. I definitely saw a second bottle with a bee inside the inside Blind's Hut. But it turns out actually, you just saw Gem basically getting himself another 100 rupees, so he should be set for Zora money at this point.
Yeah, and Hitsu just went for the gamble in the well, and he found the 3 bombs. So lucky for him, more bombs behind bombs. So good to go. Save your money.
So actually, just with this like very minor, decision basically for Hitsu to just dive right in, I think he's actually gonna get out of Kakariko just a little bit ahead of Gem in this case. Sorry, Hitsu's also gonna try and sell that bee. Yeah, you guys actually see that both, Hitsu and Gem are trying to sell the bee, basically with as left as they possibly can, like on screen, just so that they, like the wooden bird doesn't interfere, with the trajectory.
Yeah, that's the risk if you sell it near the person. sometimes the bee is just wandering one off and have a good time with the statue.
So I did notice that Hitsu ended up picking up a glove in the well. He got some bombs, which is certainly very nice. But honestly, like, did we really get much else so far?
Not really. I mean, we could turn in the second bee like Gem just did for the next rupees, for the Zora play, for the fake flipper water walking. So I think this might be a possibility at the next point.
Yeah. But so far, it's like a glove. Like, I don't know if that really gives you that much direction. I guess, right? So far, it's really nice to be able to have some accessibility, right? It is certainly another piece of our puzzle into Dark World, but not really sure if it really like opens up anything like directly, right?
At this point, not really. I mean, the mountain always out of logic is a possibility, but without the hook shot, without the mirror, what's logic? But at this point, I think we are going to get those Darkwood X's in the near future, maybe the South Shore, and this will be the next destination for both of the runners.
Yeah, alright, so Hitsu, the first one into the library, picking up some early blue mail, always kind of nice. They're pretty healthy. You're still probably going to turn down armor, right? Of course, the hope is that you're going to find that mirror sooner rather than later because, what's worse than last locating something? Trying to, death or bell with like a, 15 hearts and, red mail or something. That's pretty painful.
And don't forget your safety ferry you just picked up somewhere else, so whoops.
That's right.
Just go for everything again. Try with the red mail, your death warp.
Yeah, that's actually a very good reminder. And you know what? So Hitsu actually only sold one of his bees. Gem apparently is having like a duel with this blue card. That is probably one of the best gatekeepers I've seen into the Lost Grove. So, just with that kind of fight, Hitsu, I think, is just slightly out further ahead.
That's just so mean. Sometimes the enemies are just hindering you in everything you want to do. The dead walks on the mountain as well. So, yeah, you have good luck or bad luck with those. It's karma. Poor Gem.
Karma, huh? Man, what has
karma.
Gem done in this lifetime?
We have to ask later. We have to ask you later.
Yeah, you're right. These are lots of good questions we have to interview. So Hitsu, did you see this? You talked about early Easter play? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bow. I mean, that's great. You know it's a crystal, and it's always a good feeling to clear those light world dungeons up in the searching for the Darkwood X's. And you just got the bow. You can clear the dungeon up. You might find your Darkwood X's, and it's not a wasted time. It's not a wasted opportunity. And with the half magic, even more safeties. Yay, why not?
Jeez. I mean, I thought these are like two of the best runners, right? We have in the community. Like, why are we giving themselves like so much nice safety at the beginning, right? We got blue mail early, we got half magic early, got a bow early for that landmost kill. I mean, come on, man. Like, I think this is easy mode for them at this point.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, at least one sword wasn't lumberjack, so
that is
that easy. Yeah.
You're right. I don't know if these runners can survive on just only a maximum temper sword. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, just wait until we find out that the other two swords on the tablets. So this could be pretty interesting.
Oh.
And right, more money and a mirror. So yeah. More items, more possibilities with the mountain, with Hera, out of logic.
Oh yeah, that's true. And you know what? Speaking of out of logic, did you see that pretty nifty bug net on our trackers for both of our runners? There are fairies available, and both of them have at least one empty bottle. So we could potentially, I would like to be able to see some traversal into East Death Mountain. That could be a possibility.
I'm not sure if anybody would go for this. It's so fast switched.
I think it would be pretty awesome to see here on Restream. However, though, I don't know. As you said, you're facing Hitsu, you're facing Gem. Unless you're like absolutely confident in your abilities, may not necessarily be the most I guess safety play in this case.
Yeah, but I don't know. This is the Invitational tournament. There's a prize on the end of this, so I doubt that everybody would go for those fancy strats right here, right now. I think both are going to play this more or less safe. Safe except for the mids behind our flippers.
Yeah, we have so much money to see. And by the way, did you happen to catch what was on Lake Hylia Island?
I think it was the lamp, right?
Yeah, it was the lamp. So that's actually pretty interesting in terms of in terms of logical implications, right? So, I mean, we certainly have Dark World access thanks to those myths that we just ended up finding out of logic.
Out of logic, sure,
yeah. This is we do need flippers in order to actually get into Waterfall Ferry. But maybe this actually means that there is a upcoming flute maybe available somewhere.
Yeah, this is an interesting point right now. I mean, you can go into the Dark World. You got the access with the mids. You skip the flippers, at least for this check.
Yeah, we're still waiting and for that Dark World map check. I just ended up getting mids, from these guys. Looks like the first nice entry into King's Tomb on his side. Yeah, first check, of course, with those mids and boosts, we are gonna get a
single arrow.
Yeah, very valuable single arrow. What? We have a bow already, and we don't have a full quiver, so maybe that single arrow can make the difference in this case. What do you think?
It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade with 25 arrows, 26. It's like, yeah, you could do math, and it's a percentage increasing of your current arrows. So okay.
Yeah, it looks like though we're not going into Eastern apparently. Speaking even though we have the bows with the mirror, maybe they're hoping that they're going to be able to combine that trip over there, with Pod. Quick map check. 5-6 crystals at Pod, Swamp, and it's not Swamp. Mire and Thieves Town and Turtle Rock are pendants. Turtle Rock being green. It's gonna be pretty interesting, actually.
You're starting with the mids, right, in the Village of Outcasts, and everything you can do here is more or less just the pendant Thieves Town with all those shakes. So yeah, you might combine it with the hammer later on to combine Eastern and Port, but you don't have the lamp. Maybe you want the Firewatch for a little bit easier Dark Room movement, at least in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, and we see that. Yeah, we see that's our entry point into Dark World. Immediately, both runners headed immediately south. The correct routing, in my opinion, for both of them. This is why they're both in the Invitational top 4, and that they know what they're talking about.
What's north? I can't remember this.
It's something that doesn't really exist. Doesn't really have any extra value. It's not really worth going to. Don't worry.
Yeah, later for Go mode.
Yeah,
save things for Go mode. It would be boring if you hit Go mode and everything was already cleared.
I know, right? Yeah. Actually, so speaking of Go modes, so we did mention earlier that we actually, you were actually talking about potentially having some long dungeons be pendants. So we see Pendant Mire, see Pendant Turtle Rock. This actually potentially could be, fast seed, right? No explicit hard requirements for medallions. That pesky ice rod may not ever have to show up this game.
Yeah, the potential even to skip the Sumeria, so
yeah,
the cane is just another item you might find, but not really.
That is actually a really interesting implication. Okay, so Hitsu. Okay, I didn't notice that Hitsu found the book. I guess Jemp's gonna pick this up soon. But actually, you bring up a really interesting point, Tato. The fact that we don't have to do Maya or Turtle Rock means that the cane may not show up, but of course, we would like the cane to for Ice Palace, right? To do some icebreaker and make things a bit faster, but. Well, that actually might be influence, right? As to there's a vanilla 300. Might be some influence, for maybe they're willing to dive Ice Palace sooner, right? Because that cane may not show up.
It depends on when we might hit Go mode. We could even skip more things. For example, the sword on Lumberjack could be a potential Go mode item.
Oh, dude, sword Go mode, man. That's that could certainly be a very interesting thing. It certainly happened before. Certainly, you can search all of GT basically for that sword. Hope that something comes up. Is this this might be a little bit of routing divergence,
but I don't know why Gem didn't check it earlier, or even before doing the Smiths. So he skipped his hookshot.
The fact that Gem is actually doing basically the Smith chain now, kind of might be an indication that, Bootsy picks up the purple chest, right? He is not going to be able to check Dig Game. Because once you have a follower with you, basically you can't actually you can't basically do digging because the guys can be like, oh well, you have a friend, you have to be alone in order to to do this game. So that being said, though, it's very possible that Gem will come back to this area just because both Hitsu and Gem ended up skipping, only doing the front 4 of Thieves Town. So it's still a possibility, but yeah, that early hookshot though.
Yeah, but with this mirror check right now, I mean, if he was intended to do this, he could have run through just for the purple chest to turn it in. doing the tablet check and running all the way back with the boots. So he's not going for the K45 and Stumpy right now, but on his way back. So he could route this in, but it looks like it's no digging game in the near future.
Yeah, well, you know, and of course, you know, so we certainly know that hookshot is hard required to see, right? We do sense that swamp is a crystal. You know, so that hookshot is going to give Hitsu certainly a bit of an earlier advantage. You know, however, as we said, you know, it's not like this could be the only time that Jump in that area.
This hookshot might be important if Hitsu is going for a sequence break for the mountain. So.
Oh yeah.
We're looking for the hammer. I love the mountain. The mountain is always pretty hard. So
oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's a lot of checks. I mean, why get the flute out of pendant port, crystal port or something like this? Just go for the mountain, grab your hammer, enter port, and find everything else there. This could be a nice one.
Yeah, no, so yeah, right. So of course, you know, technically we still don't have logical access to the mountain quite yet, right? You know, we don't have a lamp, but we know where a lamp is on Lake Highlight Island, of course, no flippers. We still haven't seen, you know, the flute, right, to actually get us up there. However, you know, we can always, as you said earlier, use our gloves, basically get up there, and then, you know, we got mitts, we got mirror, you know, Hitsu was a hook shot. There are like, yeah, this is a nice sink for Hype Cave. Finally got our master sword. Powder. this is so good, man.
It's like, okay, purple chest for the digging game, and in the end, we are still in the Hype Cave. Exactly at the same time.
Literally, like, it looks almost like frame for frame at this point. Oh, but Hitsu, of course, has got a little bit of a friend following along. So yeah, we've got a little bit of divergence so far. Looks like Gem is actually going to try and sequence break out the right side of Dark Worlds. You can see that, you know, with that bow, with some bombs, he is actually going to try and swim over. So this actually is a little bit actually kind of dangerous, just because we ended up having some more enemies kind of along the way, like that bomber dude. And if you get hit in fake flipper state, you are not in for a good time.
There's another chance that he might enter the land right here and walks over, but he decided to swim over.
Okay, so Jen's got everything under control. You know, nobody was worried.
That's perfectly fine. Yes. Perfectly fine.
All right, so
nothing
safely,
to see here.
Yeah, that's right. Safely, he has made it over. It looks like he is going to probably can't check Hobo at this point, even though we do have the mirror. But yeah, he's sorry. He's sequence breaked over to the east side of Dark Worlds. Hitsu, though, looks like he's going to continue on to desert.
Yeah, going for the desert. I mean, we got the mirror, and if we intend to clear desert later on, we don't have any fire source right now, so we can't anyway. But maybe go in, look around, what's there, where's the big key, do I get both items? And I'm coming back later with the flute, or just down into desert because he got other plans.
Yeah, it looks like, only 50 rupees out of Kina, so, you know, Hitsu is not interested, but, you know, he's starting a sanctuary. Do you think this is going to be the potential mountain play that, you know, you thought about earlier? Is it the treasure trove, right, up there?
Yeah, you want those item density, I think. That's a good play to do this.
Yeah, so it looks like though Jum is trying and, well, you know, there is nothing certainly that's stopping the hammer being in pod. Gonna visit over to the eastern pod area. Of course, through the Dark World, we've got plenty of money. And, you know, so of course, the good news for Jum is that, you know, if he ends up finding, got flippers, if that's a hammer over here, you know, full clear everything. Worst case, he'll just full clear eastern, right?
Yeah, at this point, I was going to say, like, there's not a guarantee that they will find the flippers for the mids at this point right now here in eastern area. It could have been the hammer, and we are going to get the flippers later on for the mids. But never mind, there are the flippers.
Yeah,
so
they are.
We are in full control right now.
Yeah. So actually, I think with those flippers, right? So we can then get the lamp, right?
Land leading to some area,
Yeah, that's actually another. Okay, well, so is that good or bad news, Tato? The fact that we have Samaria here, like just like kind of out in the open. It's good for Ice Palace.
It's great for ice. It's great for ice.
Yeah, well, so what happens if you find a medallion in this case, like, you know, for Maya or for Turtle Rock? Are you going in?
Turtle Rock later on, where I like Turtle Rock going in.
You
maybe
like
with the fire, without the fire. Yeah, it's a mountain. On the mountain there's Turtle Rock, so that's great. Great news. but for those medallions we have in the seat, we already saw most of Thieves Town, so this is already more or less done with. And Maya is always not the great experience. It's always slow in item density and item checks. So maybe later on into Turtle Rock for your Go mode item? Question mark. Could be a play, but at this point, the Sumeria is nice to have.
Yeah, that's that's really true. Okay, so we're gonna talk about it as a positive. So chances are, the fact that it is on the old man, it's not going to elude Gem for too long. Of course, right now, I would say the major difference in items is, of course, Hitsu ended up doing Digging Game a little bit, I guess in sequence versus Gem, who ended up just skipping it, hopefully temporarily in this case. So that's why Hitsu probably has even more incentive to come up here in the mountain.
Yeah, I think there was a dungeon on the North Village of Outcast area, so he might route this later on in if he's going for Palace of Darkness. So even if there is some treasure right now in Gemside, I think Hitsu doesn't have anything else after the mountain to do than going into Port Eastern area as well.
So it looks like, all right, so so we're in one of our favorite dungeons, Tower of Hera. I think it was a small key in the basement, and it was a map and compass so far. So the big key is in the basement, and I guess with one other item in the big chest. Is that? I think that's what I remember seeing.
Yeah, it's like nice last location protection at this point. So we will see, but we have no fire source, so no chance for the big key at this point.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. It's not a skip if you can't do it, right?
Yeah, it's intended. It's intended to do though.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's totally out of logic, but yeah, we are fine with this. We get our crystal. At least at this point, you're looking at the tracker 25 minutes. On Gem side, it will be even later, and you get your first crystal, and you are like, oof, this could be a long one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, despite the fact that we see both Turtle Rock and Mire, as pendants, right? Those are two, of course, the longest dungeons in the game. But yeah, the fact that we only have our first crystal, at least on Jesus' side, is 25 minutes in. It's not, terribly promising, but hopefully, we'll just need a couple more items basically, and then we just clear out the rest of this. Ideally, of course, we'd also like another sword. Oh my gosh, dude! But... All right, so even though Gem is traversing this dark maze. Obviously without a light source, because we know that lamp is the hammer, of course, does get to light up the darkness, and the fact that Gem also found, the big key. I assume he's counting items at this point or something like that. He knows, but basically he's going straight to the boss, and because we have the hammer, so he's gonna be able to full clear this place out entirely.
And so we do know that Hitsu is going to do the same thing later on, like Gem did. So Hitsu might do the current jump or something else, like those Splash Legion to get over into Palace of Darkness. Maybe he's going to grab his flippers before, so he's going to for Eastern first and Port later on, not combining this with the mirror. But we will see after the mountain. But we do know there is no hammer here on the mountain.
Yeah.
We do have the access for the lamp. Sorry, but. With the flippers and the mirror, we can get the lamp from the Lake Hylia, so the lamp would be accessible.
Yeah, that's certainly true. And we do know that we're going to need a fire source of some sort, right? We know that the fire rod's going to show up at some point. But if it very well could be, right, that the lamp could lead to the fire rod at some point.
Yeah, but I think that the major problem, as mentioned in the chat, is that Gem has no intention to go even back to the Digging Game. I mean,
yeah.
there's just Pen and Thieves Down. He did all the Smith chain, except for the hammer packs. So
yeah, he has hammer packs. He does have powder in this case. I don't think he ended up doing that. So there are a couple things that could draw him back there. But as you said, right? Like, so we just found the hammer in Pod. We're doing the clear out Eastern. That's gonna be Gem's right here, right? And then of course he does have probably some better options. He could still go up the mountain. That is very item dislocation even without the blue shot, right? And actually, and I think if Gem really feels up for it, he can also use that. Oh my gosh, yes, to get over there. All right, so that's another. I think is that actually all we need necessarily? Let's see. From Hitsu, that fire rod.
Yeah, I mean, for Ice Palace, we do need something to enter this, so the bombers or the firewall is required. I mean, there was a
so
dungeon
Hitsu,
like Skywoods.
yeah, well, so Hitsu just found the fire rod in Hookshot Cave, which is why I was wondering, like, is that actually enough for us?
We do need we don't need the flute, right? Yeah, that's enough.
Oh, dude.
We do need he just need to get the flippers out of the Zahashala bag and the hammer out of Palace of Darkness, so that's good to go.
Oh my gosh, dude, this is gonna be a really fast seed if that's the case, because, you know, Hitsu, well, so, okay, right, so he just found the fire rod, so he probably gonna do Skullwoods right now, right? That's gonna be, you know, his next, you know, logical, whatever, progression, right? Because he could full clear that crystal.
Totally
But-
not in logic for him right now, but yeah, it's a crystal. You can get those items out of it, and it's the great opportunity to go for the current jump or the splash deletion into Catfish, Pyramid, Palace of Darkness combination with the Eastern Palace play.
Yeah, no, this is shaping up to be a ridiculously fast seed if that's the case.
I mean, even the book is required, as we are not going to get the flute, maybe. So we got our desert access.
That's true. Yeah,
that's like,
right.
yeah, we do need to get the flute. Yeah, okay, it's a pendant Maya, but we have desert access, so.
That's, oh man, this is okay. So we were just talking about this being a potentially long seed. You know, the fact that Chris, who got his first crystal at 25 minutes in, and now suddenly, like, we found Hammer and Pod on Gem's side, and we found the Fire Rod on Hitsu's side. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yet even with the cane on the old man on the mountain, which we had to go through, we even got those potential Ganon's tower play. We can clear everything. It's good to go. So as fast as Hitsu is going to enter Palace of Darkness, he will realize that this is go mode. And except for the Skywoods play, he's going to go mode every dungeon after.
Yeah, so actually, right, it's actually just a matter in this case of, well, when Hitsu basically decides to go over to Palace of Darkness and Eastern, right? So, you know, we still can't go into Ice Palace, but without that hammer, we can't clear it, right? We can go into the first house of Swamp. We can also, because, you know, well, because we have no hammer, at least on Hitsu's side. So yeah, so maybe, you know, Pod and Eastern are going to be kind of his next, you know, major areas in this case.
He could have gone towards Desert Palace, but for what reason? What reason? It's 2 checks, okay, but I don't think so. He's currently in the Dark World. He is going in the back of Skywoods first, so he's going to the front afterwards, and you are nearly over with the current jump for the other side. So Palace of Darkness is the first destination, absolutely.
Of course, you know, so we did remember seeing a sword on Lumberjack that's going to be art tempered. Ideally, of course, these runners would like to have another sword, right? Master Sword Silverless is not probably going to be the most, you know, pleasant of fights, you know, for Ganon. Not saying they're not capable. It would just, you know, be really nice to have something that would speed things up a bit.
Yeah, but hitting go mode at this point, you know there are silvers under the seat. The next sword maybe.
What we know.
So
this is from instinct.
you want to finish that up. You know that this is potentially a very fast seed, and you got the mountain play earlier. Your opponent might get the Palace of Darkness play earlier, so it's just back and forth. And you don't expect that Gem is going to skip digging game for the hookshot. And well, we will see if and how fast he will go back to this location.
Yeah, this is so I guess that's gonna actually be kind of like the crux of this whole thing, right? So we know that, you know, we have to go up the mountain eventually, in this case, and I guess unless the Bumbo shows up, right, we're gonna have to go up to the mountain to get that fire rod, and then come back, you know, into Ice Palace, right? And even actually, I don't know if Gem will end up going into Ice Palace, but if he ends up finding Bumbo somewhere. I mean, it's definitely gonna be slower, but I don't know if it's gonna be like a mountain trip slower.
And as everybody here forget, the fireword was hookshot locked, as Telethar just mentioned. So it was a hookshot cave.
That is true.
Yeah,
I do believe that Gem is capable of getting all the items out of Hookshot Cave for what it's worth. But yeah, this is.
But at this point, he's hookshot for go mode, so he's not going to follow the fireword that much. Right?
Yeah, so speaking of hookshot go mode for hookshot and fire rod, yeah. So okay, so we're going up the mountain. You know, Gem looks like he is he's gonna get the cane of Samaria for sure. No flute to be found, so this is gonna be you know, like he really can't miss it. And I guess we're gonna see that hook shot can be in some some pretty terrible locations. We know it's a dig game, but from Gem's perspective, it can still be in quite a few number of places, including inside Swamp Palace, and that's not somewhere that you want to go to.
Yeah, I think he might go back earlier to Skywoods and then maybe get his hookshot out of it. It depends on the hovering in Hookshot Cave, maybe for the firewood. This would open up Skywoods, and if he's in Skywoods, he might go either way to Catfish or down to the digging game once again. So it's not really over yet. It's still a possibility that this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I mean, well, certainly both runners are going super hard and fast and trying to find their last set of items. Alright, so Hitsu, it looks like he's gonna do some North Dark Worlds check, so presumably, though, this is gonna be, his trip over, you said earlier, trying to do this Kern jump. I actually don't know if he ended up setting up a water walk over when he was in Skull Woods. I guess we're gonna see. Looks like the answer is no in this case, because he's trying to do it and Scylla delete just like Jen did earlier with Lake Hylia. Just a bit safer, though, because there are no enemies, basically, to try and knock him out of Big Flipper state.
Yeah, and we never cleared Eastern Palace, so there's no problem with the variables in the guns in the whole splash release thing. Man.
Yeah. Well, I know. It looks like actually, Hitsu, he is actually being pretty thorough. He's not basically letting go of any extra checks. So presumably this is going to be, well, he's checking Catfish now, and then maybe probably down to Pyramid and then over to Pod.
Yeah, he can't skip anything on this route right now. He's looking for the hammer. Palace of Darkness is still locked for him. He knows with the silvers.
Oh, jeez. Speaking of, alright, so well, those are. I don't think Gem's actually ever gonna get those.
Yeah, let alone this might be a huge advantage at this point. I mean, if we are, one sword is on Lumberjack, so there's only one sword left in this game. Of course, that's somewhere on the Laser Bridge and Turtle Rock. So we might end up with Silverless Ganon, or at this point, Master Sword Silverless, and at this point it's Master Sword Silver, so this is quite huge.
Yeah, no, the silvers on Master Sword is actually, it saves quite a bit of time, right? In Phase 4, I mean, you don't want to keep basically spinning. It takes a significantly long time.
And nobody picked up his lamp right now.
Yeah, though that's certainly true. I was actually a bit surprised that Gem did actually not want to take up his fire source, but you know what? You can't do Hera Basement if you don't have a fire source, right? So that's gonna be.
Yeah, it's an easy skip.
Yeah,
just don't have the items. You can skip if you don't have the items. It's logically totally okay. Just skip everything you don't need. And as we know, we don't need those Hera Basement big key. This is just a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was actually the best layout, right, of Hera in this case. Well, the fact that we didn't have to go basically to the basement.
it's always the best layout if you skip something and
that's right.
There's nothing behind it. So every gamble, every skip turning out as a good one it's always a great layout. So flippers for Hitsu. So back in logic.
Yeah, everything now is back in logic for him. And I think he saw the lamp, right? I assume he saw the lamp.
I think both did.
Okay,
Did both do the water walk? I'm not sure. I would expect that.
I mean, certainly at this point, though, I mean, Hitsu's armed with that fire rod, and he has half magic. I don't really foresee like magic being much of an issue. Like at this point, I don't know, unless you really want to take a different way to Ice Palace, maybe. I don't really see him picking up that lamp.
Yeah, for Hitsu, the lamp is out of question right now. He got the fireword, so on Hitsu's side, we will never see the lamp. Skip everything we don't need. The lamp, whip, fireword. No thanks.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so it looks like Hitsu has actually opted to do Eastern Palace first. This I think is actually also very reasonable. If you because you don't have the hammer, right? Why would you find the hammer in Pod? If you just find the hammer in Eastern, right? You have a shot, basically full claim Pod, for the first time around.
Yeah, especially since Hitsu, without the flippers earlier, he wasn't sure if he really skipped just the flippers or not. And, why not go for the Eastern play? If the hammer's here, you can go more with the full Palace of Darkness thing. If the key layout is great, And if not, just go back in afterwards. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's not that much of a time waste.
All right, so Gem is in Hookshot Cave. Let's see if he decides to try and claim some of his prizes without the hookshot. All right, first attempt was not successful. Looks like he's willing to try again.
This could be pretty crucial at this point. So if he doesn't get it, I think he might go into Swamp after the hook shot.
Yeah, alright, well, okay, so that is somewhat unfortunate. We know that actually that first chest is where the fire rod is, so yeah, that is not actually unfortunately gonna be a good idea for, or it's not looking very promising in this case for Gem.
Yeah, but I think Gem is going to collect his hook shot right now. Oh, he's up over the pyramid, but he did check the pyramid, so not only for catfish, right?
Well, actually, yeah. Is he gonna go pick up his lamp now? Maybe if he's going it this way. Lamp into. I guess he can't even. Well, he can't get into Ice Palace. So maybe does he just want the lamp? Catfish? North Dark World?
We will see. We'll see. I mean, at least he got his lamp, so.
Okay, yeah. Looks like actually I have a couple suggestions here, both from our tracker and in chat. Yeah, Desert Palace actually with that fire source, at least for the lamp, lamp in this case, that would be something, yeah, on the table now for Gem.
Yeah, absolutely. Just forget that we already got this book, and both decided against dipping into Desert Palace without the fire source, so that's totally reasonable that he's going in afterwards, and as he never checked Hobo, he just did right now.
Yeah, so this is actually also something that we kind of see as a consequence for, the fact that Meyer is a pendant. The flute may not show up, still hasn't shown up. So, guess what? We're going to do some good old-fashioned, all saving quests, but basically a lot of overworld travel here to get around to everywhere we need to go.
Yeah, you just said about those walking boots, so we're doing a little bit more walking right now.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully we can walk. We just get to use our boots to the best of their abilities.
It would be pretty unfair. We're starting with boots and we got the flute and just never used the boots again. No, that's not cool. So a little bit of walking towards Desert Palace. 2 more checks, but we do know that Hitsu is going to Gomo Desert Palace in a few minutes.
Yeah, that's right. So, Hitsu doesn't have the lamp, so I mean, dark rooms are definitely not an issue for Hitsu, but he is still going to go through basically the entirety of Palace of Darkness, and presumably the rest of the game, without that lamp, and he'll be very pleasantly surprised in this case to find his Go Mode hammer here in Fall. This is actually, yeah, and then actually, what does Hitsu have left after this? You said Go Mode Desert, Go Mode Swamp, Go Mode Ice. Dude, that is, I don't think it's gonna be a sub-hour seed, but this seed, it's sped up significantly at the end.
Yeah, it's just about all those pendant dungeons in the Dark World, and this is a great layout for just getting necessary items to just rush through the seed. Don't look around, don't go back.
Yeah, actually, so I guess we had to go into, as far as we know, we have to go into Pendant Thieves Town in order to get the book right out of the front. But other than that, yeah, we're not touching Meyer. We're not touching Pillar Rock. That is.
We can't even. We never found any medallion at this point.
That's right.
So
yeah.
there wasn't even a chance to go into something else.
Yeah, this is gonna. This is this is the kind of seed I don't know, you want, right, as a runner, potentially. I don't know. I guess you have to catch the bus or the jet or the whatever, right? But having a seed that you don't have to go find the ice trial, you don't have to go find any medallions. It actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it's totally rare that you can't even get the chance to go into those dungeons. It's like late Sumeria, so you can't enter those pendant dungeon like Turtle Rock. But in this case, it's a hammer go mode. That's a little bit unique.
Yeah,
most of the times you experience those mids go mode a little bit often by those hammer go mode.
Yeah, it's not even like a bad hammer go mode, right? In this case, it's not like they had to, go around the different, like the world, basically looping around, 2 or 3 times, right? They basically just got over. They both current jumped over to East Dark Worlds, and well, no first test of swamp, right? No hammer in Ice Palace, type of situation. It's just literally it's just right here.
Everything Hitsu did was just clear a little bit of crystals here and there, enter the mountain, and enter Palace of Darkness without the hammer to hit your jackpot.
Yeah, this is actually pretty nuts.
it could be like totally the same route for Jam if he didn't skip this digging game.
Yeah, right, and it's not like it was a it's not like it was a bad decision or anything. It just happens to be punishing, like much more punishing in this case than expected. But of course, Jem here is in Desert Palace. He has the best weapon out possible, which is of course the bow.
Oh, this remembers me of my NMG seeds I played before, and I can't hit those ones.
No, I mean, Jem is very well versed, of course, in NMG execution. And Limbo's unfortunately not giving him like the best patterns, but ended up actually landing quite a few number of shots. Alright. But very, very happy to see in this case the Jem ended up doing this execution. Meanwhile, Hitsu finding, red mail, so everyone's very well guarded. Hitsu has found his go mode hammer, looking for that big key.
And now it's time for clear all the dungeons, and this red mail is another easy item, just another easy support item for the upcoming climb in the Turtle Rock. Everything else in the game is now even easier.
Yeah, that's right. So of course for Hitsu, Hitsu, of course, he did find the silvers at Catfish. Something, certainly was a very nice treat as his basically path over to Paths of Darkness through North Dark World. So it's gonna make his Ganon fight a whole heck of a lot nicer. Certainly would not turn down a third sword in this case.
Yeah, this sad sword sitting on Lumberjack.
Yeah.
I don't think that's any value. So it wouldn't surprise me to find another sword later on any crystal dungeon boss. So maybe Ice Palace with the tempered sword free for grab.
Alright, so Jem's finished up Desert, and finished up, the rest of the overworld in that area, so he is done with that. Looks like he is maybe doing Spike Cave?
Wasn't there an item left in Hera?
There was another live item, yes, in Hera. You are correct. Actually, looks like that's exactly what Jem's gonna do in this case. Sitting through Hera basement, and then I assume he's gonna do Spike Cave after this.
It's still sad that he didn't get the firewood out of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, no, that was a pretty unfortunate placement in this case.
This could be like a chance to come back in the seat. So I think if he gets the hook shot, he's not likely going back again on the mountain just for these 3 checks. He knows that he skipped the hook shot, so if there's something Hookshot Cave, it's already over. He will know that. So I do think he might go into swamp or something else a little bit off the way.
Oh man, you think he'll go into swamp before?
After the hook shot. He gets the hook shot later on. After the hook shot, instantly into swamp. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's.
And this will be a full clear in swamp. And on Hitsu's side, it will be a rough go mode.
Alright, so where do you think in this case Hitsu's gonna go to next? He'll save and quit. And then, we still don't have the flu. So not super convenient in terms of, I guess, like routing. You basically have to, as you said, walking boots everywhere. Ice Palace is pretty isolated. As in just like you run back down.
Ice Palace on the way. Yeah, swamp into desert or swamp into ice. I don't think that really matters. Into desert would be the faster way, I think. And Ice Palace or whatever dungeon is left afterwards, so we get our 7 crystals pretty much in the next 15 minutes, a little bit faster. And what a seat.
Yeah. It's just definitely gonna show us basically just how fast some of these, they're not considered to be, I guess, like short dungeons, but I mean the fact that you can go mode swamp is just gonna be ridiculously fast. Hitsu has no gem.
Yeah,
Oh,
on top
poor
of
guy.
everything, he just fell down with the bomb
Oh
jump.
my
That's
gosh, poor guy.
so unfortunate.
This is why we need a hook shot, so we don't have to basically deal with any of these rooms. In this case, we could just fall from above, and we don't have to worry.
I do think Gem maybe getting in his mind that there's something skipped, maybe something which could cost him the seat. So those little execution burps might be coming out of this.
Alright, we are gonna basically see, what is here. Oh man, the lag though for this particular room. Alright, first time to charm here. Unfortunately, just 20. I mean, we know it's not gonna be probably anything helpful. I mean, it would
The
be
sword
pretty
would
nice.
be
Yeah, I was
great.
gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're right. The fourth sword was there. That would actually be pretty nice for Gem because we know basically that Hitsu's gonna end up on Master Sword Silvers at this point, since we do know where the fourth sword is, which is on Lumberjack, and there's basically no chance that either of our runners basically do Aghanim just for that one sword.
Except we might find another sword, but yeah, no information about the fourth one.
Mm-hmm.
But as we can see on Hitsu's side, he skipped the first chest in Swamp. He well knows that he's in go mode, and he don't intend to find the sword out of the way. He might open 1 or 2 checks maybe later on for the fourth sword, but well, it depends right now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, so do you think like having silvers, if you're a Master Sword, is like worth it to skip chests at this point?
I mean, if we never saw if we would have never saw the sword up on Lumberjack, I think you might open a few more checks and chests. But with only one sword in play at this point, yeah, it hits it sword that does not open those checks anymore. The chest, it's time consuming.
Opening chests. I mean, I have heard that opening chests and picking up pots is, some of the most difficult things in the entire game. So.
Oh, we got the sword.
All right, that is actually a really nice payout for Gem. I mean, Hitsu. I mean, the chance of him doing that at this point is like next to none. So that means that chances are, so it's going to be tempered, silverless versus in this case Master Sword Silvers. Very interesting.
Yeah, but Gem still needs to get his hook shot out of the shot.
That is, yes,
and
you're not wrong.
And even worse, the fire rod on hookshot cave. So it's not like, yeah, he get the hook shot and everything is fine right now. It's like he has to go back up there just to get the chance to go with everything. But with the second 5-6 crystal, with the second red crystal, he's going for the red bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is also very sensible, for Gem, right? He finished Desert, right? And he finished Pod, pretty early. This is 100% logic.
Yeah, and he wants his silver arrows right now, so yeah, he's going up towards Catfish after this. Yeah, this will be seen at this point.
Yeah, just like that. Actually, hits, all the time Hitsu saved basically by skipping all these chests and swamp palaces. He's already claimed his next crystal, so presumably it's going to be a trip over to Desert, right? Because we still don't have the flute. Gem ended up doing a bomb dupe, so just to try and get over here just ever so slightly faster.
Pretty nice executed right there. Mm-hmm. I mean, saw a few people failing at this and going back to grab another bomb. It's costly. It takes your time, and you get your medallion. For Turtle Walk, why not? That's nice, I think.
If that motivates Gem to go up the mountain, I'm not certainly going to complain.
Yeah, all right. Let's just get the hook shot, clear out swamp, maybe skip left side. I mean, there's nothing there, and go up and do hookshot cave before Turtle Walk, and surprise.
All right, so where is Gem going in this case? He is going back into a portal. And we're still going in the right direction in this case, still further south, because we know that the hook shot is south here. So presumably this is going to be some overworld checks for Gem. He's got, you mentioned this earlier, right? Hammer pegs, we've got some powder. Presumably then he'll also do dig game. This is going to be Gem's pretty much only other opportunity to do dig game. If he skips it now, I do not see him ever coming back here. Unless, well, I mean, maybe he wants to finish up Thieves Town, I guess, but I mean, like, that is...
Yeah,
that is going to be a really hard sell.
Yeah, it depends right now. do you think there's something on the digging spot and you know you screwed this up, or are you going for the yeah, I mean, Thieves Town, not the obvious play to do right now. Maybe a little bit a gamble to go for those checks, go for the win. But as Danka mentioned, in this tournament, the time also counts.
Oh yeah,
Even
how
if
much
you
you lose
lose,
by?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, no!
Oh my gosh, dude! That flute is such a bad find. I mean, so, okay, flute is always good for mobility, but oh my gosh, dude, like, we need Gem to go to dig game, like, right now. He's gonna go activate that flute. I have no idea if he's gonna do a dig game. It is so isolated right now if he doesn't do this.
I mean,
Oh,
if the game just
oh
give us
my gosh.
another ether medallion for Maya, this is wood. This is totally wood.
It is so scary.
But hey,
I
Jem
guess.
can now finish up Desert Palace way faster. Oh, he did already. Oh, that's
Yeah, yeah,
sad.
but right, because wait, he specifically got the lamp, right? And then checked hobo, and
Yeah.
then
And then
went
oh,
over to
that's the
desert. What
flute.
the
Yeah.
fuck? Oh no! Oh my gosh, no!
Why
I
are we
think
even playing this game?
I
Why?
think Jem might be delaying his hook shot just a little bit longer. He is gonna check out what's in the Meyer area.
And we will
Oh
see
my
another
god,
Easter
we're so
medallion.
close.
That's nice. We can clear up the dungeon right now. Oh no.
This is gonna be scary. Oh my! Oh, we have an ice drop.
At least the fire word is hookshot locked. So
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna, yes. Yeah, that's actually like that's a very good sign. So the ice rod, of course, Gem is still very much looking for that fire rod, in addition to the hook shot, which of course we know is at dig game. Unfortunately for Gem, because okay, so Gem has one more shot, basically one more convenient shot, other than basically just doing it as a one-off, which he does have the backup pendant thieves. But oh my gosh, that flute find. If it were located like anywhere else, I think it would have been still fine. Gem would have gone and checked the hook shot, and well, you know, here we are.
You have to play Maya right now. I mean, you got the flute. Everything just fall
Oh
into
my
the
gosh,
place,
poor
and you
guy.
know, it can't be there. What? It can't be this. No, it can't be. You're going into Maya.
No, of course, right? Because I mean, so this is probably his most, I would say, like advanced sphere in this case, right?
Yeah.
Like, the most basically thing that you got in like the most recent from Logic, right? So of course you're definitely gonna chase this. It's just that we know, looking at Hitsu's side, that it is just, I mean, it's just like I don't know how many rabbit holes, like layers deep this trip is gonna be. It's just so scary to see in this case, just how far in this case, like the game can lead you.
I mean, poor Hitsu. Don't even commentate his Ice Palace Go mode and everything else he's doing, because Gem's just showing us every item we don't want to see. This is this is such a rough seed, and
Yeah, I know.
a nice big key.
Yeah, I mean, and you actually right. There's actually a very interesting observation, right? Because Hitsu, it basically just one decision, that just kind of like spiraled out of control, basically in this case. The decision, by the way, for Gem to not do digging is not a bad one necessarily, right? It's because you make delay checks, skip things, fairly frequently. It just happens to be that this one is just so punishing in this particular case, because not only like the hookshot would lead you to the right things, like not having the hookshot basically led you basically all to the wrong things, right? And especially also finding like the flute, right? And Magic Bat. It's just oh my gosh.
At least the firewood is behind the hookshot. I mean, this would be a totally train wreck if the firewood was accessible earlier. So we would see a turtle rock play and maybe a pedestal blind pull, or whatever the reasons could be. So, this is at least something out of the seed that we were not going to see Turtle Rock. Yay!
We certainly won't see Turtle Rock finished.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, Jam, please don't die here. Alright, good thing he got that blue potion from Waterfall Fairy earlier. He was on 1 heart. Ren Mail unfortunately doesn't protect you really against those fire snakes, so very nicely to be able to use that potion to keep living. All right, so Hitsu, actually, just
Yeah,
with all that, he
if
has
it,
been,
yeah,
he finished desert, finished swamp, finished ice. So we're climbing the mountain in this case.
yeah, for the GT Biki
Yeah,
searching
already.
party
That's
right now.
actually sub-hour coming up to GT, or climb. It's like starting your climb basically is. I mean, you know, it is definitely going to be a pretty fast seed from Hitsu. I
Yeah,
actually am kind of curious, right? Because you know, from Hitsu's perspective, right, he doesn't think that Gem most likely has not skipped, you know, the hook shot, right? So, I'm wondering if Hitsu actually thinks like, well, you know, did I make any wrong decisions? How far is, you know, Gem behind me? Is he ahead of me at this point? Because this actually was a very fast seed from his perspective.
Hitsu might think you either are going for go mode hammer or for go mode on the turn the mountain with the fireword. So either way, you are going and clear everything just to get those last items you might need. But yeah, as we are going to enter Ganon's tower, everybody is already guessing the big key number. So feel free to guess a number between 1 and 22 where the big key might be in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, and I will say though, for you know, for Hitsu's execution actually has been very solid this entire game, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully, like, yeah, I think you know he's been playing actually quite well in this case. So hopefully he doesn't feel too bad. But again, right, you're in a race, you know, against against Gem. I don't know how good you could ever feel. I mean, it not only is like against Gem, but in general, like you know,
Both
it's
are
difficult to
playing
gauge.
really good. I mean, Jem
Mhm.
had the rougher fight on the Desert Palace boss, and he did fall on the bomb jump in Hera. But except for those two things, minor things, there was nothing wrong on Jem's side.
Yeah, well, no, Gem. I mean, Gem did the right thing at Desert, and by using the bow, that
Yeah.
is 100% approved. All right, so Hitsu already in GT. Where is Gem? All right, so this is probably gonna be back of Desert or back of Thieves Town. Hopefully into Diggy.
I think he must do it. There's nothing open except for Turtle Walk. No, you can't go into Turtle Walk.
Yeah,
Not
looks like
without doing the ding game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so certainly for Gem's sake, you hope that the items are, I guess, going to come up front. I'm actually not sure how many items there are in the back, but I guess the hope is that you don't see something on blind. I can leave earlier, but it looks like the Hitsu went left first into Stalfo's room, did not find the big key that he was looking for. We know he's not going to find a sword. And so, but with, you know, a guaranteed small key, or small keys in this case, I'm going to go right side and see what happens.
13 hearts, red mail. I mean, this is pretty nice equipment. Half magic, and maybe a cape even for the Ganon fight. This is more than enough.
That's true. Yeah, the cape's gonna be pretty handy for phases 1 and 2 for sure.
Yeah, I enjoy using those. I mean, in the earlier stages where we are not allowed to use the quick swap, you are already fighting without the cape because it costs time to activate the menu, swap to the cape, etc., etc. But nowadays, I think many player in any range of skill are using the cape if they feel like they have to. And there's the big key.
Interesting that Hitsu didn't even check the other's chest for a sword. Well, I mean, we did see him skip, by the way. We saw him skip Waterfall, we saw him skip Flooded Chest and Swamp, so maybe he just thinks that he needs to go because, you know, he can't afford all this time to check things.
There's only one sword left, and he knows that, so yeah, it's somewhere he didn't check already, so whatever. Just go. And
Alright, so
the big key was on 8?
The big key was in Compass chest, the first one he checked, so it is 1 on Torch, 4 in Stalfos, is 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you're right. Good count.
Yeah, thanks for that. I did that once before. I practiced. Since
you practiced counting? Thank you.
Yeah, I practiced counting 1 to 8. That was something in between. I just skipped, but that's fine. After you wrote me yesterday, I was like, okay, train those numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, you only need to count up to however many is required in this case.
Yeah, 2 hands plus 2, I think, or 4 hands, something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a lot. Kefka with the 8. GG's for winning the guessing game. Nobody really mentioned, but you won nevertheless.
Yeah, we'll ask Big Dunka to send you something in the mail. In this case, maybe a good seed from Lazy Kid or something, if those exist.
Our group won the fastest scattering prize, so we are a little bit proud in the first week of the Invitational. So maybe this not existent prize could be carried over for the guessing game. Yeah. And nice use of the silvers.
Hits is already basically through the bulk of the gauntlet already. So he's got whiz ropes, some of the most satisfying rooms in the game, of course, to be able to see this, and he's got some torches. So he didn't pick up the lamp. He does have half magic, of course, and the fire rod. I don't think he has any potions.
Yeah, but you got the silver arrows, so whatever in Ganon's face, we just need 4 arrows, so no torch glitch, nothing else really matters at this point. And with the magic, with the half magic, if he's going to fail anything of these torch rooms right now, I mean, no, this can't happen.
Alright, so Jem finished up Beast Town, did not find what he was looking for.
But he already got catfish and the graveyard ledge open, so.
Yeah, so he is gonna probably do North Dark World in this case. But yeah, so I guess he is gonna pick up silvers if he continues on the catfish, so that is some good news for him. At this point, though, he really wants that hookshot to show up.
You called those items good news as Hitsu is 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes before closing up this race. Yeah, this is nice, Clear Mouse. Yeah, it's really great that Jem is going to get his silvers. Nice one.
Would you rather see like another red rupee or some 3 bombs or something versus the silver arrows at catfish? At least it's something like that is gonna improve potentially your end game, right?
Just give Jem the hookshot like half an hour earlier and not in 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, that is the most important. I mean, but this particular skip, I mean, it has just been basically just. It's just been so punishing in this case for Jem. I would say though that if the flute had not shown up at Magic Bat, for that particular check, I think Jem's really would have had, and he would have gotten basically some kind of at that point, which, the flute had to show up, huh?
Yeah, maybe in Ganon's tower. I mean, this would normally happen, but not if you have the chance to last locate this very bad. So
yeah. So Hitsu though is already on attitude. Looks like he's just trying to get through.
Nice recycle.
Yeah. So alright. So he is basically 1 bird fly away in this case from facing off against Ganon. So he does have Master Sword. So phase 1 and 2 are going to take a little bit longer. Then if you basically have like Temper Sword in this case, but Hitsu I'm sure has encountered Ganon in this case under this scenario like many a time. Jem on the other hand, alright, so save and quit after catfish, getting his silvers. Looks like we are going into the Swamp Palace, looking for that hook shot.
it's the desperate play. I mean, it's like I've already lost or not. It doesn't matter at this point. I remember the scene like you posted somewhere a little gif or was it a clip. So at this point I totally understand that Jem is not going back to the location he skipped. He's going in and said like, yeah, there might be a chance if this pays out right now that Hitsu is going to do the same. But Hitsu is going to spin 12 times in every phase right now.
Yeah, Hitsu's going through, and Jem, well, I guess we're going to be able to see, at least for our benefit, the viewers' benefit, what is actually inside Swamp Palace, because Hitsu didn't show us a single chest in here.
And Hitsu with a great Ganon placement, but I think that's 1 spin short.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, you do see Hitsu having the cape out, hugging the wall, presumably, in this case, to try and save some of his magic. So he ends up not getting hits.
Yeah, and with nearly 6 till 7 firework shots left, this might be enough for the 4th phase. Maybe he's going for the torch glitch, maybe not. I mean, it's 4 silver arrows.
Yeah, I would hope that Hitsu has enough magic for this. Well, yeah, because I don't think that he, like, one difference between him and Jem earlier was that he did not do Waterfall Fairy. He didn't throw his in his bottle, so he doesn't have that potion.
Might set up a triple, but no, yeah. I thought like he would wait a little bit, but this is just a single, and he now has to light up those torches again. This will be another single.
Yeah, not even gonna try and quick swap. He needs all the time he can get, basically, in order to get to his silver arrows.
Yeah, at this point, you know it's a fast seed, and don't screw up with your magic right now, and go for singles. It's fine, and
Yeah,
it is
alright.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, get your GGs out in chat for Hitsu, or Luffy in this case, finishing up first place in this race with, looks like 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 32 seconds.
Yeah, and just looking into race time, Gem is not going to finish this seed up. He just immediately forfeit after he saw the finish of Hitsu. So GG's for both of them. GG's for Gem as well.
Yeah, GG. Yeah, looks like we actually joined both by both Hitsu. No, just Gem. Hi, Gem. GG's.
Hey, Gem.
Thanks.
sorry, man. Oh my gosh, dude.
Hi.
Did Hitsu tell you where the hookshot was?
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got punished, so I can stop skipping it now.
Yeah. I mean, this is something like it totally could happen to me. How did you do this? Why did it happen to you? Is it a normal skip you are going in for skipping the shovel game, or was it just today?
I've done it a lot lately because I think it's funny.
Yeah. Thanks for the show.
As you can see, it was very funny. I hope everybody laughed.
Well, I don't think it was so bad early. But we talked about this earlier. But the fact that you got flute when you did on bat, like, I mean, it looked like you were going to go to game after that.
No, I was never.
Oh, you weren't.
No.
Okay, well then I don't feel as bad. Oh man. Looks
No,
like
I just decided I'd commit to it.
Hi, Itsu. GG's, man.
Hey, GG's.
GG's, Itsu.
Hey, GG's, dude.
My first win ever. Again.
Hitsu, why didn't you skip shovel game? It's fun. We already learned that it's fun to skip shovel game, but you did shovel game. That wasn't very funny.
Was Gem ahead at the shovel game?
Or it was neck and neck at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it was ahead for a moment. I skipped it, and then you got the hookshot, and then I wasn't ahead anymore.
Yeah, it was really like, oh, he's going for the shovel game. Wait, Gem didn't do the shovel game, right? He's already turning in the smith. Okay. Oh, the hookshot. Okay. Oh, the firewood behind the hookshot. Well, this could be bad. But with the hammer, it was pretty nice.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, that's the official reason. I mean, we didn't lie here, Hitsu.
Nah, I wanted to hear that you were scared of me, that I gamble hard.
No,
Sorry.
I'm not scared of you.
Yeah, clear mouse.
It was really very. It was a very interesting seed. For sure. Well, so Hitsu, I guess actually, like, well, how good or not good, like, were you feeling the entire race? Like, because it looked like, you know, like everything kind of like fell into, you know, like your path, right? It was a very fast seed, at least from our perspective, watching you. Did you feel nervous at all? Like, you know, Jem basically did the same things that he was ahead of you. Were you like?
Yeah, I totally expected that he would do the same. Like, there was not many things that you can lose time on if you don't skip, like, the hookshot. I never expected that Gem would skip the hookshot and that screws him up, so... I guess I played kinda safe because I was expecting him to win, and this was, in my eyes, my hardest matchup from the 3 games, so I just wanted to make sure to have a good time.
I mean, I think next time you should have more fun and skip the game. Okay.
Yeah, dude. You should play for fun. What is this try-hard dig game checking? What I expected of you.
And not even finishing getting the lamp and not searching for another sword. Yeah, just skipping everything else. This is so try-hard.
Where was the last sword?
Spy Cave.
Yeah, Jen did it after Hera. I guess it's also, I don't know if Hizu also told you where the fire rod was, but it was also in Hookshot Cave. I know you made a couple of attempts trying to get it. I don't know if it would have made that much of a difference, but at least it was. Like, you would have at least been Hookshot Go mode at that point. So.
It would have made the difference that I would have wasted time on Scorewoods.
That is true.
I'm glad I didn't get it. So if I'm gonna miss Soakshot, I'd rather not get the hover there, it seems. Screw that dungeon.
I mean, I very much appreciate you staying true, basically to to your morals, and just committing in this case. I mean, we definitely saw that from his who said there was nothing of value in Skullwood, so there was no mental damage taken in this case. Okay, so I guess with that, any last words with you guys in this case? Yeah, before we kind of wrap things up.
Let's meet again in the final Sitsu.
Yeah, 3 more games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also just want to thank both of you, Jem and Hitsu, for well. I mean, I'm really glad you guys scheduled this race, fairly early. Obviously, it's very, very happy from my perspective to be able to help you guys basically commentate this match. I would like to, I mean, I think you guys played very, very well, both of you. It just happens to be in this case that the hookshot into game was just ultra punishing for Jem. Sorry.
Yeah, this is just random things. I mean, both one are pretty great and pretty good at this game, but with just one check, one item you skip, or you just miss, or you just gambled off, it could be a totally disaster. And at this point, yeah, I think Jem would have needed another 20 or 30 minutes just to clean everything up.
Yeah, I was just done with the seed. I'm glad that Hitsu finished this fast, so I could just forfeit in good conscience.
Yeah.
So good luck, both of you, with your next games. I mean, it was the first game of the group stage in the final week, so there are many games to follow, and both of you, best of luck in the upcoming games, and maybe the final is still real. So do your best.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I know that I think all of the games in this group have been scheduled. I know that there's one later on tonight. I want to say 7 p.m. That's P-Train versus Aster. Certainly going to be another pretty exciting match. And of course, like Jem and Hitsu, best of luck against P-Train and Aster in this case for your remaining matches. Definitely looking forward to the rest of them. And of course, thanks again for letting us restream you guys.
Yeah, thank you for commentating, Clearmouse Tato. Also, Mike for restreaming and tracking. Yeah,
and thank you so much, Tato. This is your English debut for commentary. I think it went swimmingly, so looking forward to the next one from you. Yes, and guys, I just want to echo Hitsu. Thank you, Structure Mike, basically for agreeing to restream this. Honestly, I think that was like a crucial part in order to get this match on the air. And as always, Akuhaish and Sarah from Group, thank you so much for tracking. I mean, everyone basically came together at the last minute to be able to put together this race. So I was very, very happy to be able to have this everything work out.
Yeah, thanks, Clearmouse, for making this possible to commentate with you and with our whole crew in the background. Thanks a lot for this. And as you mentioned before, there are going to be many great games from the Casual Boots Invitational on the ladder. So stay tuned for this.
Yeah, and of course, I guess we should also thank Dunka. He was the one who organized this entire event, the sponsor of everything, put together the ladder, made all of the stuff happen, so thank you. You are still, our favorite lazy kid, despite your, beliefs on Scope. It's okay. Everyone needs a flaw or two, so.
The best perfect last words of the stream. Yeah. Thanks, Clearmouse. This was perfect. And thanks, Dunka. I see you. Yeah.
This was so great. Until then, have a great rest of the evening or afternoon, I guess, for those who are not in Germany. And until then, again, 7 p.m. later tonight. I think it's not sure if this is gonna be a restream or not, but it's P-Train versus Aster, so feel free to turn in.
Have a great evening. Auf Wiedersehen.